it's your girl on Bieber. I'm back with another reaction video. See by the title, I'm reacting to Fredo Santana, the real Fredo. I said Fredo. Freddy Kruger story. Right to this.
Go, you feel me?
You know how we coming out.
Oh, make a sound.
You understand, man? I'm not a snitch, man. You know me. Hell no. You know, back then, anybody from like Chicago, like, you know, and remember sales, you know. Well, I ain't gonna be nothing but another game, man. They going to the field joint, you know.
I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy he passed away, bro. I ain't gonna lie, when I saw that on the like the news, bro, I was like, bro, ain't no way. And you know what's so crazy? When I first saw it, I was like, ain't no way this might shock him. I was like, ain't no way somebody killed, because it just said that he passed away. And I was like, I know how like it's like one of them artists, you just like, nah, they like, yeah, ain't no way I killed this person. And then I saw it wasn't, I was like, yeah, I was like, I don't know, I was like, ain't no way somebody killed him, ain't no way.
That's the outside Chicago where no hope, like no hope, ain't no hope. We give people hope, like they look at
like,
us, see me every day.
He seemed like the type of person, like even though he in a gang, he seemed like the type of person that's cool with everybody. Like everybody. He just looked like the type of person that was just cool with everybody, bro.
Like that's hope.
Like he's the type to be cool with his ops. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he just seemed like a cool person.
My dog X and put up on me.
Even though sometimes he looks scary, I don't know. Damn, that's sad.
I drop a 1 and 1 and 260. You have. You don't gotta do all that extra drop foes and 20 ounces, drop an 8 to 2 liters.
What the hell am I watching?
Yourself like that, you trying to die.
Looking to rent, buy, or sell in New York City? Street Easy has everything you need in this competitive market.
Hey yo squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. Hip hop has seen the loss of some greats that would have taken over the game, but for some, even when they're gone, their impact is just too huge to die off. One of the most notorious out of Chicago was feared and respected by the homies and the ops. Fredo Santana. He wasn't just a scary sight in his music, but in his ops' dreams and in real life. You want to hear the real Freddy Kruger story? Then you gotta stick around to hear about Fredo Kruger. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. Team O Block is a home of a lot of savages. Derek Coleman, also known as Fredo Santana, is among many and one of the most gangsta out of all of them. He was just a little jit coming up when he was already surrounded by hood activities. His pops was known in the streets, and Fredo was brought up in the footsteps of his blueprint. Even as a baby, he was in his dad's arms while his father was holding the strap. Fredo Santana went from growing up among his aunties and brothers to growing up into hood savagery. He became a student of the game until he mastered the streets. He became BD, and his homies, all of them, was allegedly selling packs, stacking racks, and toting gas.
That's the shooter right there, man. The shooter, man. Pop the hand, popping your dick. You already know, man.
This
Fredo
like
Santana was of many talents. He wasn't scared to let the ops know. Any given day, he could catch a body real quick. As a youngin', he would roll like other savages like Lil Reese, King Von, and Chief Keef banging in the streets.
That's about it. Fredo was the only one. Fredo used to be in the building. Chief Keef used to be in the building.
Even at that young?
Yeah, even when he was that little, he always used to be in the building.
Chief Keef was allegedly his blood cousin, and the two were tight like brothers.
Like, Chief Keef, like, his grandma and my grandma and sisters, and his grandma is one auntie. So that makes him my cousin, like, we was real cousins.
While Fredo was gang.
He said, Ma?
Cousin, and the two were tight like brothers.
My grandma.
Like, Chief Keef, like, his grandma and my grandma and sisters.
Oh.
And his grandma is one auntie. So that makes him my cousin, like, we was real cousins.
That means his mom, okay.
No, it was gang. Keith was beginning to focus more on music when they linked up with DJ Ken, who moved from Japan to Chicago. He was behind them, helping to push their career in the studio. Fredo, on the other hand, was too caught up in the streets to follow in the same path.
Like I said, it wasn't for certain people, certain things, you know what I'm saying? You gotta give credit to everybody.
He was
not just the artist.
We was hearing him, and you know, he told us he do music, and Keith was doing music with him first. First, I used to always make up excuses. When we used to be like, people like, man, we finna go to the studio. Like, no, man, I got some little females coming.
Instead, he chose to push Keith and even be his manager at one point.
A lot of people say Keith was like more into like the music. Like Keith just knew like music was for him. Like, you know how like you have that friend that don't care about nothing. They don't want to party. like motivated. Like they have this it's like the word is in my head but it's not coming out, bro. This drive to, you know what I'm saying? Like every interview you see, they be like, Keith is always in the studio, bro.
Cause he do music and
Keith
was doing music with him first. First I used to always make up excuses. When we used to be like, people like, man, we finna go to the studio. I no, man, I got some little females coming.
Instead, he chose to push Keith and even be his manager at one point.
You know, like before I was rapping, like I was like Chief Keef, like manager, you know, so like.
Fredo's hood shenanigans would eventually violate his parole and he would find himself again behind bars. By now, he had dropped out of school and was fully in the streets. During that time, Keith linked up with Lil Reese to drop the classic banger, Don't Like. In the song, Reese dropped the iconic line, Fredo in the cut is a scary sight.
Fredo in the cut, that's a scary sight.
And introduced the world to the Chirac Savage, and soon anyone in the dark will soon be coming to the light. Fredo, incarcerated and watching Chief Keef and them blowing up, got serious about rapping when he got out and no longer made excuses. He slid through the booth, guns and all, everything on him. And
Hold
recorded.
up, my mind is blown. You tell me Fredo was never in the video? Hold up.
Fredo, incarcerated and watching Chief Keef and them blowing up, got serious about rapping when he got
You
out
are
and no
telling
longer made
me.
excuses. He slid through the booth, guns and all.
No, he was never in the video.
That's a scary sight.
I must have never been paying attention to the video because I could have swore Fredo was in there.
It introduced the world to the Chirac Savage, and soon anyone in the dark will soon be coming to the light. Fredo, incarcerated and watching Chief Keef and them blowing up, got serious about rapping when he got out and no
Do I be
longer
paying
made
attention?
excuses. He slid through the booth, guns and all, everything on him, and recorded one of his earliest tracks, Hitter. Together with Chief Keef and their once close homie SD, they formed GBE, also known as Glory Boys Entertainment Collective, and set out to take over the industry.
Glow gang.
So GBE, bro. How did that come
That
about?
came together on some. Fredo had got out, and like me and Keith was already hanging. You know what I'm saying? Day to day doing our thing. We was already doing our thing day to day. Then we had started like the music thing.
I did a video with a fallout of GBE with Keith and OG member SD, so you can check that out. Check out the full story. Fredo and Keith will begin collaborating on tracks like On That, and it was up from there. Fredo Santana dropped his debut mixtape off the Lil Reese line, That's a Scary Sight.
Classic.
He went from making excuses to having one of the craziest work ethics in the game. He not only launched his own label, Savage Squad Records.
You know, I'm just finna start another record label, so I just started Savage Squad Records, you know. Signed it myself, you feel me? Put out so many projects, and you know, just grind, you know.
But under his imprint, he dropped the heat,
Another
left and right,
classic.
with singles like My Lord Ninjas with Keith and Reese, Ring Bells, Jealous featuring Kendrick Lamar, and projects including his debut album Trappin' Ain't Dead, his collab project Street
I
Shit
ain't
with
gonna
Gino
lie, Fredo
Marley,
got classics
Walking
too,
Legend,
bro.
Scary Sight 2, and Fredo Kruger. Fredo Santana's music told the struggle of the streets and painted the dark lifestyle fans were drawn to, and his ops were afraid of. Yet and still, he was so humble and well respected by his peers and his ops.
Say about Fredo. All people Fredo. Shorty was an op, nigga.
That goes to tell you the kind of person he was. No
Damn.
fake made up persona, but just honestly who he was. By now, Fredo was mainstream in the trenches and in the industry. He was rapping and catching ops lacking allegedly, but he wasn't wasting the opportunity he had and was branching off into other avenues of business, taking his status to a higher level. Bro was producing, designing clothes, designing shoes, modeling, executive producing movies, touring.
So you started off just like, you know, like rapping and shit, but
I remember he was in that Drake video.
A little bit, and then obviously now you're running your own independent label and shit.
Most definitely, you know, I be modeling and shit, you know.
You gotta get into
Sad.
everything these days,
Yeah,
man.
most
The
definitely.
game is wide open.
I be designing clothes and shit.
You gotta do
Fredo thought that
everything.
bag. As his buzz reached worldwide, he caught the attention of OVO Honcho Drake, who brought him in to star in his music video, Hold On, We're Going Home. Fredo was solidified all around, but no matter how he tried to stay away from beef and focus on building his brand and career, dudes just couldn't help but bring Fredo Kruger off the bench and back into the game. Before Migos reached the stardom that they have today, they were young, buzzing group.
Oh yeah, they was
from
beefing with
Georgia,
Migos.
and they got into it with Fredo's cousin, Chief Keef. Keef, who sent shots to the Migos on the song Trap, rapping the bars, bitch, I'm trapping out the mansion. I ain't trapping out no bando. This ain't no Versace. References Migos breakout tracks Bando and
I don't know how did that even
Migos
happen?
would hit back with some heat on Chief Keef with their diss Jealousy. From there, the two kept throwing shots back and forth online. Keef got back in the booth to mock the Migos with a diss called Pull Up. Migos would then pull a slick move doing a show in Cali where Keef was living at. Knowing Keef was in rehab at the time, on judges' orders, Migos was out there talking reckless on interviews and getting into a shootout in Miami
this is what,
Keef's name.
Fredo had stepped to them. I ain't gonna lie, I probably should that to
Knowing
them.
Keef was in rehab at the
Like I
time, on
said,
judges'
Fredo
orders.
one of them people, like, he looked nice, but he looked scary also.
Migos was out there talking reckless on interviews and
He
getting
looked
into a
like some
shootout
person
in
you push
Miami
it,
and
he gonna
Chief Keef's
snap.
name came up.
And when he snapped,
Your
he
hair.
come for everybody.
I should do that so fast. Batiste saves time so I can do more.
Came up. Here's what they had to say.
You know, people are, you know, allegedly shooting at you guys on a Miami highway, and people are shooting back, and there's like real life situations happening here that most artists never have to deal with.
What we got going on, we trendsetter, we change the game. We young, we ain't been in the game as long as the other folks ain't been.
Things started getting out of hand when Migos caught GBE member
What was the
Capo
cat?
lacking in an alleged Chicago restaurant.
You ain't know none of that, boy. What? I ain't know none of that, boy. You know it, boy. Alright, what? You said this. You said.
First of all, never do anything like that in front of, like, bro, look at my people. Nobody about to go to cops, bro. You think he gonna do something? Y'all think y'all gonna get, see, that's why y'all recording, y'all gonna do nothing. You know them white people won't go to cops. You know that. That white people is quick to call the cops, bro. As soon as they hear loud anything, they're calling the cops.
Goes, now get into a back and
Wait, he got punched?
online with Migos claiming to swing on Capo and Capo saying all their swings missed and they were ducking, taking
I ain't
it
know that
outside. It was all cool when the Migos was doing their internet jabs, but the moment they messed with the GBE homie in person, Fredo had to step in and remind dudes it's a scary sight for real if you pop up. Fredo wasn't about to let the Migos be on no tomfoolery anymore on the
Fredo,
game,
like,
and
checked
he
him
would
or
catch a
something.
body if he had to. What happened next was Fredo being a man of his word. Rumors would circulate that Fredo and them caught Migos lacking at a show, and an altercation popped off, and Quavo chain got snatched
So
off
this-
his neck.
okay.
Keith would later confirm the rumor, posting a picture.
Yeah,
of the
'cause I
chain
know
with the
Fredo.
caption, "What's this?" Once Fredo stepped in, that was that. Common sense prevailed, and the Migos squashed things with Keith, putting an end to all of the beef. Fredo nicked.
I'm sorry. The fact that they were still beefing until Fredo stepped in, that tells you a lot. That tells you a lot.
threw away his hard work over the beef, but luckily, things de-escalated once he let the Migos know what was the real deal. Fredo was
They must have been scared once Fredo got in. They was like, alright, we gonna mess with Cat, we gonna mess with Keith, we gonna, you know what I'm saying? But when Fredo, they was like, yeah, we
larger
gonna
than life. He was killing it in the
He
independent
gonna back
game with
off.
his label, even turning down a deal that he considered with French Montana and Diddy's Bad Boy Records.
Oh, no.
Where are you thinking of going? I'm hearing Diddy is recruiting you.
Diddy wouldn't know what to do with them. I'm not gonna lie. No, hell no, that's not true. French Montana.
Bad boy like months ago, like three.
Sadly, the high didn't last that long. Ironically, because Fredo was getting too high to cope with the trauma of the streets and the loss of his homies in his life. He was dependent on lean. Things got so bad that his grandmoms had to message him, urging him to slow down when she saw a pic of him with the lean belly. Grandmom's messaging was ignored, and Fredo would suffer the consequences of his addiction. He found himself on a hospital bed in March 2017 after
I'm not
suffering
gonna lie.
life
I
threatening
didn't. His situation probably like showed me like, bro, like them rappers drinking that lean and stuff like that. That's not good. Like I'm not gonna. I tried it before, but it made me sleepy. That's why I never tried it again. But it made me sleepy. So when rappers be like they drink it constantly, I'm like, bro, doesn't that make you tired? Like, don't you like what type of energy do you get from that? But I honestly did not know that it can mess up your inside until he passed away. I mean, of course, because it's like cough medicine. You know what I'm saying? It's like
chuck it up to an exhaustion
I just
being
didn't.
overworked. He would survive the scare and fans started with smooth sailing. But Fredo found himself again in the hospital in October 2017, and this time was diagnosed with liver and kidney failure. Rappers like the late XXXTentacion pulled up to the hospital to show love to the Chirac legend. Fredo recounted how his homie Gino Marley found him on the floor shaking and bleeding from his mouth. Finally, Fredo opened up about his lean dependency and was even ready to hit rehab and change his life around for himself and others that were dealing with addiction. Fredo showed how strong he was. He made it out and was back home, and you can see the change in time with his weight and attitude.
That's what
He was trying and seemed to be doing better with the aid of the seizure prescription Keppra.
Staying away from that lean. Ain't no drink, man. Just weed, man.
But the damage had unfortunately already been done. In the following months, Fredo would continuously experience seizures until he suffered the fatal one on January 19, 2018. His fiance found an unresponsive Fredo at his LA crib and he would never open his eyes again. Fredo Santana was gone. An autopsy would later rule cardiovascular disease as the main cause in addition to idiopathic epilepsy. The industry and the world was in shock, and an outpour of condolences, hurt, and love.
That's what I said. Like, people loved Fredo, bro. Like, people probably love Fredo more than they love Keith, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Fredo got so many love when he passed away. Even before he passed away, he got so many love. But when he passed, bro, you could tell, like, bro, legend, bro.
Before he passed, him and Keith were actually working on a collab album called Blood Thicker Than Water.
Because we him to drop a joint album together, you know.
When's that coming up?
Like, we're picking a day right now, man. I'm thinking like the
that's never gonna drop now.
Keith later did an interview.
We already know Keith don't be dropping, so we're probably gonna get it when we old as hell got kids.
Like, we're picking a day right now, man. I'm thinking
we probably gonna have kids when this comes out. Keith's kids probably gonna have kids.
Open up about Fredo being the one looking out for him, making sure he wasn't popping pills to damage himself, and confirmed the project will be out in time.
He always make sure we doing something right.
Yeah, you better be eating your fruits, eating your salads, go to your doctor's appointment. You better not be sipping no lean. You better not be doing. You better not mess up your body, kids. I'm not playing. I feel like every rapper should stop that.
Fredo took his own advice sooner. Fredo Santana came up from nothing, making it big to become the hood Barack Obama, inspiring youngins and showing them that they can make it too.
Especially Southside Chicago, where no hope, like no hope, ain't no hope. We give people hope, like they look at us and see me every day, and they look like that's hope, you know. I'm like Barack Obama to these guys, man. I'm hope to them, like he's doing that. Like maybe I can do, you know, something like, you know, they just giving people hope.
R.I.P. to the real Freddy, Fredo Kruger. So there you have it. Thanks for kicking it with your boy. Appreciate the love and support, man. I'll catch y'all when I spin back round.
But yeah, like I was saying, bro, rappers just need to stop doing them pills, taking them. I understand like what they go through because not what we don't know what they go through, so of course they take it out. Not take it out, but like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But it's really sad. Like, I really hope everybody who goes through anything just, I wouldn't say get therapy because I've been to therapy before. I don't like it. So I would just say, I don't know, just find something else other than drugs, bro. Like, drugs might feel good in that moment, bro, but in the long run, it's, bro, I'm telling you, it's not. But if you got this reaction, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, turn that post notification bell on so you never bring a video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.